All righty. We are live. We are live.
We're
Sweet.
live.
All right. Perfect. What is up, everybody? Oh my goodness, it's kind of late. It's 10:26. Dang, we're really like nightcap, aren't we?
Yeah, bro. Sit there. We're not freaky.
Okay. Well, you're freaky for sure.
I'm not freaky, bro.
That's cap. Um. Alrighty, yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get started here. Welcome back, everybody, to the Playbook Podcast. This is live stream number 3, I believe. We got a lot to talk about. The Thunder Pacers Game 5 just wrapped up. We'll be touching on that. We'll talk a little bit about Kevin Durant as well. Kevin Durant, talk a little football, a little bit of golf as the U.S. Open did happen, and a little bit of baseball. So we're just going to jump right in and get this thing going. Trey, did you want to talk about your little thing you got going on here, sir?
Yeah. I'll go ahead and talk about that for a little bit.
All right.
So, today I want to first of all I want to thank Kel Steed and Clint Brickbell and Lee Baker and Corin Davis about for allowing me to visit them, shout out them, because I've only covered one sport, that was baseball AC. So this is a whole different ball game. And I can't wait for football to come in the fall. It's coming up pretty fast. I mean, we're like 1 month away from preseason in the NFL. Starts July 31st. And then next thing you know, right now we're trying to go to training camp couple weeks from now. So like as soon as the NBA finals is over, it may not seem like a lot of sports going on, but it's be a lot of sports going on about just like a couple weeks from now, believe it or not. So what's up, Drake? Glad that you're first, bro. Glad that you're first. But anyway, but yeah, so today I went out to did some football coverage of people, high school quarterbacks, receivers camp, with varsity and eighth grade people. So watch out this year in the fall. First of all, you have the quarterback from West Plains. By the way, West Plains actually almost went to state last year. There's one game away from going to state, and they unfortunately they did not win that game. So, and plus they have a lot of good online over there at West Plains too. Big online people. So watch out for this. Watch out for them this coming up season. Also the people from some town now outside of Amarillo. I forgot the name, what it's called, but you got that team going on around. His name is something Newkirk. Forgot his name. I'm learning all these kids' names, bro. It's a lot of kids that I gotta learn and interview throughout this fall. So watch out for them. Of course, watch out for people and Randall. The quarterback from Randall. His second year is starting as quarterback, so it's a lot of pressure on this season coming up. There goes the win. But yeah, I gotta throw shout out to Clint and Kel Steve for allowing me to shout out them Lee Baker as well. Can't wait to work with you on the fall. Like I said, I'm back in media. I got written off by that certain individual. Speaking of that individual, I've called this guy out many times, but you know what? I'm letting it go. I forgive the guy, despite him for being a doofus and all that stuff. But you know what? It's what it is, man. I mean, hey, man, I'm back. So, and he's gonna deal with that for a while. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all I got to report on. Be look out articles in the fall and my Facebook, Instagram feed, and yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, congratulations on Trey for working at the Press Pass Sports. Gets to cover some football. That'll be fun. That'll probably be a little bit more fun than baseball.
Yeah,
But you know,
really. I mean, it was one team, and every time the funny
yeah,
thing is this, bro. Every time they lose the game, they won't let you interview them. How you gonna handle an athlete in the real world when you're on D1 and in the pros? But we won't go there.
yeah. Still, congratulations to you. Yeah, Drake, welcome in. I see that you were first, and we are running Apex for sure. So yeah, let's just hump. We're not going to hump anything. Whoa, my bad. Let's jump. We're going to jump right on into this. Jump. My bad. Wrong word. We're going to jump right into this. The Thunder and the Pacers. Yes, sir. The Thunder might have done some nefarious things to the Pacers. So the Pacers did lose today. They lost game 4 and game 5. The Thunder have taken control of the series again, going up 3-2. They won tonight 120-109. The main story of tonight's game was Tyrese Halliburton. He was a no-show. He had 4 points. All of them were all free throws. He didn't make a single field goal. He was 0 for 6. He had 7 rebounds and 6 assists, which is not kind of what you're looking for there. And then on the other side of the ball, Jalen Williams absolutely erupts for 40 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. He had himself he had himself, the best game of his career, bar none. I know he's had some great moments on the Thunder, but this was by far his best game. SGA, while not very efficient from the field, don't worry, he got his free throws in, so he ended up with 31 points, but he did facilitate a little more than normal. He ended up with 10 assists there. Chet Holmgren had a very, very fast start, and then he kind of tapered off, but it didn't really matter because Cason Wallace and Aaron Wiggins came off the bench and combined for 7 threes. They combined for 25 points off the bench. They were huge in that rotation. And on the other side, the Pacers, really only Pascal Siakam played great. TJ McConnell was great off the bench with 18. Pascal Siakam had 28. But you look at Nembhard, who was 3 of 8, 7 points. Tyrese Halliburton, 0 for 6, 4 points. That's not going to get the job done. So, there's a couple things we could talk about. What's your biggest takeaway from the finals so far after Game 5? We'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about SGA, and we'll talk about Halliburton. So, what do you guys think? What's your biggest takeaway of this final so far?
First of all, I think their turnovers are hurting them big time in the playoffs, and especially in this game. Yeah. If you look at the previous game too, in game 4, the turnovers killed them too. At one point it was a 3-point ball game, and they turned the ball over, and you just can't do that because turnovers hurt you a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they kind of sold the game too, by forcing up shots too, and doing stupid foul calls. But I think some of it is a little bit of refereeing too, because I saw that Scott. I know the series been kind of weird by the officiating going on, because you have Scott Foster, who's being accused of something and might be fired from after this season, and then you got some calls too that people don't see. Like, for example, I know it's game 4 that happened Friday night, but there's a video that SGA traveled. He literally traveled. Yeah. 3 steps, and then he shot the ball, and then he made it, and then he didn't call it travel. So I think it's a little bit a little bit of refereeing too. So as far as I'm concerned, I think that it's turnovers and also a little bit of officiating. And off top of that, Halliburton's not really aggressive because here's his record right now. If he scores 20 or more points, they're 33-4. When Halliburton scores 20 points and more. So he's not really aggressive either. He's just being a little bit of cautionary, and what you can't do. You have to be aggressive now. Halliburton, step up. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of people trying to. I can see why people don't put you in superstar case now, because you're not really showing up at all, and that's the reason why they're losing too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that, kind of more of the same. I think that the Pacers, they just had they started off great. They started off playing pretty good, and then I don't know, after halftime or whatever, if they just kind of stopped trying, or I don't know, but they had turnovers. Their defense was not what it usually can be.
Yeah.
They let Jalen Williams score 40 points.
It's not great.
No, I mean you can't let that happen. I mean, you have SGA scoring 30, 31, and almost half of those were at the line. So, I mean, you can't play defense like that and expect to win the game. So, if they want to take this, if they want to take us all the way to Game 7, then they're gonna have to tighten up on their defense, and I think that also. I mean, the Thunder's just really good too. I mean,
yeah,
they are.
So, I think the Pacers just really need to tighten up on their defense, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think it's the turnovers. The turnovers are killing the Pacers. They had 22 tonight. They managed to get 15 in Game 4, which wasn't as much as it has been. But you get 22 turnovers. The Thunder only have 11. You can't stop Jalen Williams to save your life. SGA gets his. It's just like, and then Halliburton just is horrible. It's just, you're not ever going to win a game like that unless, you have a Benedict Mathurin where he goes, he has another 30-point game or whatever. He did not. He had 18. He was fantastic. I'm sorry, he only had 7 this game. I was looking at TJ McConnell. He was 2 of 11. He was not fantastic. It's just going to hurt you. The Thunder have been doing their thing. They've been playing their game. Jalen Williams gets out and runs, and he's just one of the best cutters in the league. He's one of the best drivers in the league, and he's one of the best players in transition in the league, and he's been killing the Pacers on defense and on offense. It's just not going to work. They're going to have to figure something out. Do you think that if the Thunder win this series, and we all think SGA will probably win Finals MVP, where do you think he would be in the best player in the league case? Do you think he would be building a case for the best player in the league after that?
I think so, because I saw a stat that he's tied with LeBron and Jordan, mainly in the playoffs, especially averaging 30 points or more in his first 5 seasons as the NBA, and he's also tied MJ in the finals, averaging 30 or more in his career. At I don't know how old is he, like I know
he's like 26 or 27. I believe.
20, and that's pretty good.
26,
and
he turns 27 in next month. So,
wow, okay,
yeah,
and here's the deal. I know we kind of bash the free throw merchant kind of stuff, but same time though, I mean, this guy has good separation. He also, right now he's 32.7 point game average. He's 5.5 rebounds, 5.0 rebounds per game. He's really efficient from the field, 51% from the field, which is really good. And he's been very efficient too. He can create shots and separation like no one's ever seen in a long time. Nick, I don't know if you saw last week. I know you're not here, but I kind of mentioned that kind of a little bit reminds me of Kobe Bryant when he kind of creates separation with his pivot, when his shots, and also a little bit of AI too, and Kyrie a little bit, because they can bump you off him. So I think it reminds me. I think for sure he's building a case for the best player in the NBA. Right now, I have him better than Giannis, but as of right now, because I think he's proven a lot. Top of that, he can play both ways of the ball too. He can play both ways. He ain't scared to shot at the moment too on defense too. So I think right now he's better than Giannis, and if he continues his pace up, maybe be better than Jokic. Maybe it's a maybe, but I think he might be the best player in the NBA if he wins the finals and then Finals MVP. He's a scoring champion. He's averaging 30 points per game this past 4 seasons in a row. A couple years ago, no one expected the Thunder to do anything. Nobody expected them to do anything. They were the sleeper team all year last season. They were not supposed to make it that far. I remember Shannon Sharp on first day calling them the weakest number 1 team in the entirety of the first seed ever in the history of the NBA. I remember hearing that from Stephen A. too and Brian Windhorst. They thought this guy was a no-show. I thought the same thing. But I think he's proven the case for sure that he's the best player in the NBA.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he is, I think he is, without question, he is in the conversation of best player in the league right now. And, I wouldn't, I think that, he wins, or OKC wins the finals, he'll more than likely win finals MVP. And, if that all happens, I think that'll kind of be the seal of the deal for at least me to put him as the best. I mean, his performance this entire season and including the playoffs, I mean, he's been great in the playoffs. So he hasn't really let off the gas pedal just yet. So I think that I think he definitely has the opportunity and the possibility to be the best.
Yeah. So I definitely agree he's in the conversation. I agree that he's making a case, but I think it's important for us to set parameters for best player in the league because we've kind of been spoiled because for the last, depending on who you are, either 13 or 11 years, most people have agreed it's been LeBron. So it's either 2007, which is when I think he became the best player in the league, or 2009, which a lot of other people think he became. So it's either for the last 13 or the last, 12-ish years, from 2007 to 2020 or from 2009 to 2020. It's, LeBron's the best player in the league. So it's kind of important to set parameters. LeBron became the best player in the league, I believe, in 2007 for a lot of reasons, but a lot of people want to say 2009 because, MVP, things of that nature, in 2010, So, but here's the parameters. LeBron was the best in 2020. I believe that's when he was no longer the best. It was because, Solomon Hill somersaulted into his ankle and then he was never the same. But when Giannis became the best player in the league, this is what Giannis did. He did MVP in 2019, MVP in 2020, which I think LeBron probably should have won that, but it's neither here nor there. Giannis was great that year. Then he goes champion in 2021. Okay, so he goes 2 MVPs and then a champion. And then 99% of NBA people, Giannis is the best player in the league. Then when Jokic became the best player in the league, he won in 2020 and 2022, which was back-to-back MVPs. And then he went champion, finals MVP 2023. And everyone was like, it's Jokic now. And it's been Jokic since then, right? So I think when Giannis was dubbed, it was after his first championship, but he had won 2 MVPs. When Jokic won, it had been 2 MVPs, and then after he won his championship. So I don't think I'm okay putting SGA as the best player in the league after 1 MVP and 1 title, because that's just not the standard that Giannis or Jokic have been held to. I think that he would firmly either be 2 or 3. And I think that he'd either be above Giannis or right below Giannis, depending on who you are and what you like or whatever. But I think at worst, he's 3rd after this. And I think that's fair. And I think if next year he wins an MVP and goes to the finals or goes on, wins another championship for sure, but like even just goes to the finals, that would have been 2 championships or 2 finals or 2 MVPs and a championship. And that's like kind of what we've been looking at with Giannis and Jokic. So, I mean, you look at Jokic, he's a 5-time for All-NBA first team. Giannis is a 7-time All-NBA first team. And SGA is just 3. So I want to see a little bit more out of SGA, more consistency in terms of continuing to play at this high of a level, because I don't think you can become the best player after 1 year. I think he's going to be 2nd or 3rd, but I want to reserve that title of best player in the league for someone who can show me in a 3 to 5 year span that they can be extremely dominant. And SGA's really only proved that for 2 years. He's very good last year. He lost to Luka in the playoffs. This year, he's just dominated, right? I want to see it again because
Mhm.
I want to see it again. That's why that's why I'm fine with people saying LeBron became the best player in 2009 because it was a couple years of dominance. And then he went to like 57 straight finals or whatever. But that's what I want to see. And I think he definitely has the ability to do that. I have my issues with how he plays the game, but at the end of the day, he puts up points and he wins his team a lot of games. And if he's able to do that again for one more year, I'm comfortable. I'm fine with him being the best player in the league if he's able to do so, because I'm going to be consistent with how we treated Giannis and Jokic. So
Right, and I respect that. I respect that. And one more thing about your SGA. So this season alone, he has the longest streak, scoring 20 more points in 72 consecutive games, surpassing Jordan, MJ. And consecutive games, scoring or assisting on 35 points per game. He extended his streak to 59 games, joining Wilt Chamberlain with 65 games and Oscar Robertson 61 games as the only players in NBA history with this streak. Now, 50 points per game season in the single season, he is also the most this season among the NBA, and he just surpassed Kobe Bryant in that category in the season as well.
yeah, I mean,
He's
he's had a fantastic season. There's no denying that. I just want to see it again,
right.
Because I think if you have him above Giannis after this championship that the Thunder most definitely, in my opinion, are going to win, then I'm fine with him being 2. I think we have to give it to Jokic still because he's been so good for so long. 3 MVPs and a Finals MVP compared to and I don't like to compare accolades, but for best player in the league, I feel like it's important that he at least has multiple MVPs, because if we crown him the best player in the league, the next year someone else wins the MVP and someone else wins the title, then I feel like we would have done it too early. But I'm totally fine. I'm totally fine with waiting and seeing, and I'm totally fine with him being second or third or wherever you want him to be there. Moving on to another person who was considered a superstar. A lot of people consider him a superstar. Do you think that Halliburton, especially after tonight's game, is hurting his superstar case?
I think he is. Here's the reason why. A superstar shows up and when it comes to most. Okay, I don't want to hear about his calf tonight. There's a reason why he lost the game and played terrible. I saw Kobe Bryant one year, had a sprained ankle and a broken index finger, had rotated the ball off his middle finger. I don't want to hear that nonsense. On top of that, he missed surgery, because if he would have had surgery, he would have probably missed the whole season in 2009. That's what they say. And I want to hear that nonsense about all that stuff. Here's the deal. A superstar shows up when it matters the most and the moments come. I saw LeBron James do the same thing, come off of a huge cramp, sprained ankle in 2012 Game 5. You know what he did? After he came back, he sealed the deal against the Thunder and destroyed them. That's what he did, just to seal the game as a superstar. I've seen, top of that, Jimmy Butler play 48 minutes non-straight in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what happened? He was dehydrated, but you know what he did? He made the Lakers go for it. That's what, and he's not. People don't consider Jimmy Butler a superstar, by the way, but he did that.
Not anymore. Yeah.
Not anymore. I mean, he was though. But look what happened. Look at that. I saw Dwayne Wade in 2006 get injured in the middle of a game. He took the game over in 2006. I saw Dirk Nowitzki get sick in 2011. People remember this game. He got sick at the flu. He did. He cooked the whole Miami Heat team.
He also had a torn tendon in his hand as
well. Yeah. I saw, top of that, I've seen Michael Jordan in 97 have a food poisoning game, and it did not before. You know what happened the next game? He had 38 points that night against the Utah Jazz in Game 5. So I want to hear about his calf. I want him to seal the deal, because right now, alone in his playoffs, is averaging 17 points per game and 42% from the field. That's awful. That is completely awful. And you're proving a lot of people right, because you know why? I mean, I've seen people go after people about on Twitter and people on TV saying that he ain't superstar yet, he ain't that yet, he's not that yet. Well, you're proving people's points. So Halliburton, get it done. I'm tired of people, tired of all these excuses I hear all the time about why he's playing so bad. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people play through injuries. I mean, you've seen LeBron play through injuries.
Right.
You know, he's had issues with his foot that he played through. You know, not even to just say LeBron, you know, Jordan played through injury. He played through sickness, and he played well. They all did. They all played well. And, you know, for someone to be held, you know, if everybody's going to hold them to that same standard, if they do LeBron and, you know, the best player in the league, if you want to hold him to that standard, he's got to perform the same way, even through injury. And, you know, I think he has the potential to do that. I think he just has to, you know, not let that injury get to him, or, you know, treat it the way he needs to treat it. And I think, you know, I think it just takes him to lock in a little bit, and, you know, they're at the home stretch now. Now's not the time to let up. I know injuries are injuries, and injuries suck, and they hold you back. But, you know, if you're going to keep playing and you're not going to sit out, you gotta perform the way that, you know, you need to.
Yeah. It's the NBA Finals. 99% of the people on the court have some kind of lingering injury.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're a superhuman or you're extremely lucky. I know he's dealing with calf tightness. I don't care. If you're okay enough to play, you have to play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these guys have already mentioned a lot of players who have played through injury. LeBron, MJ, Kobe, D Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, Tim Duncan, everybody. All the greats have played through some sort of injury or ailment. LeBron, not so much in his prime because he was one of the superhumans, but like even then, still the lingering ankles or the lingering issues that happen just by the wear and tear on your body throughout a season. You were horrible, and he cost his team a victory. 4 points on 6 shots with 0 made field goals, only 6 assists. If you know he was struggling on offense scoring the ball, but he had 15 assists. That's another thing. He didn't. He did not. His team shot pretty poorly. Not even that bad from 3, 11 of 30, 36% is just a tick below league average, I believe, but it's not terrible. The Thunder did have a great shooting night from 3. They have 43%, 14 to 32, which is really, really good. But there's just no excuses. You were out there. If it was enough to make you play bad, you should have sat and let TJ McConnell do it, because TJ McConnell had 18 points in 22 minutes. So you were a detriment to your team if you played through it and you weren't able to be effective. So yeah, that's just how it goes. But if you want to be a superstar, you have to be held to superstar standards. And if you're not able to lead your team to victory, even if you're injured, that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. Moving on here, some other news in the NBA. Shams did drop a mini bomb yesterday. The Magic are acquiring Desmond Bane from the Orlando Magic. They traded KCP, Cole Anthony, and 4 first-round picks and 1 first-round pick swap for Desmond Bane. I'll go ahead and give my initial thoughts, because I'm actually decently high on Desmond Bane. I think he's a pretty good player. So that's a lot of picks. 4 first-round picks are a lot. Here's the problem. This is not the NFL. These picks are not nearly as valuable as NFL picks. The Magic are a pretty good team. They're going to be, let me pull up the draft order just so you guys get an example. They're drafting, so they don't even have their own first round pick. It's Memphis this year because the trade that just happened. But they will be Memphis in the place of the Magic will be drafting 16. That's roughly where the Magic are probably going to be picking. If you expect Paulo to get slightly better, Franz Wagner to get slightly better, maybe they pick 18, 19. The chances of you hitting on a fantastic player there aren't very big because this is not the NFL. Right. You can get a good player there, but it's so and they're still drafting in the first round because they have Denver's first round pick, so they still have a first round pick. I'm not too upset about this. KCP's a nice piece. I think Desmond Bane's better. Cole Anthony was a non-factor, and you're trading away 4 non-lottery picks. And I think they get better. I think Desmond Bane makes them better. They had issues with people being able to score and initiate offense. And I think Desmond Bane can do that. I think he can be that pseudo point guard for the Magic. And I think they get better. I don't think any of those picks were going to help them get better. And I don't think KCP was changing anyone's lives. I don't mind it. I think the Magic get a little better. So I really don't mind it. What are y'all's thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, they have better 3-point too because they were dead last this year.
They were horrible at shooting threes. Yeah. Horrible.
Yeah, they needed one big time. I think another one too is that people don't realize is KCP leaving too. Because KCP was really beneficial to Denver, and they're losing that.
And the Magic. And the Lakers.
Yeah, and I don't know, and I remember LeBron James saying that on this podcast that he actually told. No, it was Magic Johnson said it. My bad, Magic Johnson's on First Take. He actually told Rob Pelinka and Jenny Buss to keep KCP and Caruso. Because they're probably the best on-ball defenders the Lakers had.
Yes.
And since like that run they had. But I think they're losing a big depth too. That's going to hurt them a lot. And this next coming season as well. But Magic are getting better too. That team is coming, man. I mean, yeah, Paulo Banchero, who's a baller.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that team is coming, bro. Like, Look at the East. Yeah, if the Cavs might not make it. Cavs are basically a fraud. They can't get it done in the postseason. Look at Boston right now. Boston Celtics right now, Jason Tatum is hurt. They're going to lose half their roster probably due to the new salary cap in the NBA is coming up this next coming season.
Mm-hmm.
Top of that, you have the Knicks, who don't have a freaking head coach right now. So there's a lot going on in the East right now. So the East is wide open. And then Magic, you have the Detroit knocking on their door too. You also have, but I'll tell you what though, Magic is coming up. I mean, I'm excited for this team because last time there was relevance when Dwight Howard was there on that team, and I was like 6 years old when they were actually good. Wasn't even like Brown was still. I was in kindergarten when they're actually good at Magic. We're doing trades like this, so yeah. I mean that team is coming, man.
Yeah. Real quickly, Jaden, before you go, I just want to do Desmond Bane's stats. The last 2 years, we'll do last year, 23.7 points per game. 5.5 assists, 4.4 rebounds on 46% from the field, 38% from 3, which is above league average. Then this year, his scoring went down a tad. He did take less shots. He took a lot less shots because Ja Morant played for the vast majority of the season. The reason his points per game were up last year is because they lost Ja and he was, the primary scorer. But this year on less shots, he had 19 points per game still, which is very good. 5 assists, 6 rebounds. So his rebounds did go up. And he shot 48% from the field, which is 2% better than the year before, and 39% from 3, which is 1% better than the year before. And for example, KCP, the last 2 years, I guess I'll just do the last year because he only played 1 year in Orlando. 8.7 points per game, 2 rebounds, 2 assists on 43% from the field, 34% from 3. Not great. Cole Anthony, 9 points per game, 3 assists, 3 rebounds on 35% from the 3 and 42% from the field. The Magic get better from this. I know they're giving a lot of draft capital up. Who's banging on the door to go to Orlando? Not very many people. So they have to do something. Trey mentioned it. They were horrible from the three last year. I mean, absolutely horrible. I'm gonna pull it up. So the Magic. I have to subscribe. This is how you guys know. I have to subscribe to StatMuse to see where the Magic are. Okay, that's how low on the list they are. So they're below 25th. Okay, I can't even see them. So they're below 25th. I don't even know where they're at.
Dude, probably 100, bro.
I don't even. I'll go to. I'll try to find something else here. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to find them. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to find it. Here we go. Team. 3-pointers made. We could do 3-pointers made. Okay, they were dead last in the playoffs in 3-pointers made and in percentage. They were 26% from three in the playoffs. 26. That's dead terrible. Last. That's 41 of 156. Horrific. And they were just as bad in the regular season. So Desmond Bane brings a lot of much needed 3-point shooting that they don't have right now because he's gonna average. He'll probably hit 3 to 4. I imagine he'll have a big role in the offense. So I could see him taking 6, 7, 8 3-pointers per game. I think he's their obvious third option, and I think he's easily the best 3-point shooter on the team. So I think it's a huge benefit for them. Jaden, what are your thoughts on this one?
A lot of it's already been said, but I just think that Desmond Bane he's an additional shot creator that they're going to have on the team.
Yeah.
I think that they have a solid lineup now, and I think he will help their 3-point percentage go up, and I think that'll make a big difference for them. Because whether we like it or not, that's where the league is heading, is in 3 points. That's where a lot of people are getting their points now, is from outside the arc. And you kind of need that, especially in clutch moments. And so I think that they definitely, I think they went up on this with this trade. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And there's going to be people on TV and people that you talk to at the barbershop or wherever you talk sports or whatever that are going to say, oh, the Magic didn't get that much better. Are the Magic going to get Giannis? No. Are they going to get KD? No. Are they going to get anybody? No. They have no opportunities to get better other than doing stuff like this. Yeah. And they have to hope that Paolo Banchero continues to improve and becomes the player that they think and a lot of people think he can become in Franz Wagner. Wagner has another big year after his breakout year. So I mean, I don't know what else they're supposed to do. They got better. They have a clear third scorer. They have he's a decent defender. He's a great 3-point shooter. He's a decent facilitator. Like, I don't know what else you could ask for. If I'm Paolo Banchero, I'm ecstatic over this because it shows that we're in Orlando. We're not going to get that many free agents. We're not on Giannis's short list. We're not on KD's short list. But our front office still went out and did something. Speaking of KD, we're going to actually jump over to him. He did release his 3 preferred trade destinations, and he singled out one of them. So Kevin Durant reportedly has 3 trade destinations, which are the Spurs, the Rockets, and the Heat. And his interest level is in that exact order. He prefers the Spurs. That's his number 1 pick. Then the Rockets. Then the Heat. What do you guys think is the best fit for KD? And where do you realistically see him going?
I can see the best fit for me, probably the Rockets, because Jalen Green cannot really get it done in the postseason, and he proved that he's a no-show when it counts the most. And he really needed a scoring option because, I mean, that guy Jalen Green really went to bed against the Warriors, and KD is a bona fide superstar where he can score 27 points per game, 6 rebounds, 4.2 assists, and 1 2-point blocks too. He's a really good two-way player too. Statistically, since his Achilles injury, he's been a lot better than he did before his Achilles injury, except for that probably in my book, probably that run and Golden State. But they just need like a real leader in that locker room.
Mm-hmm.
And because they have a lot to prove. I mean, you have Ime Udoka, who's a heck of a coach. I feel like Boston did him dirty about what happened with that scandal. Same with I think for sure they have good defensive depth too. They have a lot of good bench too. So I think that help them a lot. So I think they really just need a real number one option in that team. The Spurs I can see, but at the same time though, KD doesn't want to be on number two option. He don't want that. He wants to lead a team. That's Wemby's team. And KD wants to lead a team that's not a number two option in the NBA in a team specifically. So in the Rockets, he could be that number one player that he wants to be, and that number one scored option. Because Wembanyama, that's his team, and KD really wants to lead a team no matter what. He will not go into a team or a locker room and say, you know what, guys, I'll be the number two option. He ain't LeBron. LeBron can do that because LeBron it can play any position, and he can play all around when he's playing the game. But KD wants to be the number one scorer option. So I see that in my opinion, it's the Rockets. I can see the Spurs, but for me it's the Rockets. Either Rockets or the Heat. But specifically, personally, it will be the Rockets.
Okay.
Yeah. Me personally, I don't think the Spurs would be a terrible team for him to land on. I think, aside from Chris Paul, the Spurs are a relatively young team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As far as people in the league, or being in the league. And, I think if nothing else from it, I think that they could benefit from this just to have some of that, that knowledge and, that experience in the game, to help their team out.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's, even if KD shows up and he doesn't become that doesn't become KD's team, I think, at this point, I know he wants that, but at this point, at the same time, I think he's just looking to, on how, maybe earning another ring before, he goes out. So I think he wants to just put himself in the best position, even if it makes him land not being in charge of that team. But, for him to have Wemby and Chris Paul, I think that wouldn't be terrible for him to land on the Spurs.
Yeah. I think I agree with you on that as well. And here's the one caveat to that, or I guess the one condition. If the Spurs can get him without trading Stephon Castle, I think they do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would make that work. So they have the second overall pick and the 14th overall pick, both lottery picks, right? I think the Spurs would have to give up both of those to the Suns. And for the Suns, I believe that they want young players. They know they can't win now. They couldn't win now with KD, Booker, and Bradley Beal. So I think they're just trying to regain some of that draft capital that they lost when they traded away, when they traded away or when they traded for KD. So getting the second overall pick, getting the 14th overall pick, and then on the roster, I think you could trade Keldon Johnson. I think you could trade Devin Vassell, both of which have pretty hefty contracts. Maybe a Harrison Barnes as well. I know he's been a great veteran piece for the Spurs, but I think if the Spurs can do that, I think that would be his best fit. And while I do see what you're saying, Trey, that maybe he would want to be the best player or the number one option, I think he would. I don't think he wouldn't be the number one scoring option. I think he would be the number one scoring option. I know Wemby's there and Wemby's amazing, but I think, Wemby's still very, very young. He has a lot to learn in terms of his offensive game. And I think at this point, Wemby's a far better defender than he is an offensive player. And that's not a disrespect to his offense. That's a compliment to his defense because he's the most, at the end of the day, this guy might have 7 defensive player of the years. So I don't think I don't think it's ridiculous to say that. So, I wouldn't mind that, but I think the key is Stephon Castle. If you have to give up Stephon Castle, I know we're talking about KD, but this is 37-year-old KD. I believe he's 37. This is not the Kevin Durant that signed with the Warriors back in 2017. He's 36. So he's 36. He turns 37 this year. I don't think it's worth. I think Stephon Castle is going to be an all-star. I think he's going to be a fantastic player and a great piece alongside Wemby for years and years and years to come. And they have De'Aaron Fox as well. I think a team of De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, KD, whoever they'll start at power forward, and then Wemby is one of a scary team. Especially if Wemby takes the leap we think he can take. I could see them being a favorite out in the West because that's just crazy. So I don't know. I want to see. I get the Rockets. I think the Rockets would have a great trade package as well with Jalen Green being the centerpiece. I don't think the Suns are dying to get Jalen Green. I really don't. You give them the second pick and they can pick between a pretty good class. I think that'd be a good. I think that's what's going to end up happening. I think we'll see the Spurs trading away their 2nd and 14th overall pick for KD alongside other people as well. Is Zachary? I don't know why I called you Zachary. Zachy, we are actually going to be talking about that in a little bit. So yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned for that, bro.
It's actually it's up in 2. It's up in 2. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about that for sure. I think those are the best things I think that's the best fit for KD, in my opinion. I think the Rockets would be great as well. Anyone but the Heat. If he goes to the Heat, that's such a troll. I don't even know who the Heat could trade. I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, Stephen A. Smith, Trey's favorite person on the planet, did say on First Take that if Giannis finishes his career off with 1 ring, that he has underachieved. What do you guys think about these comments? Do you think they're fair or unfair to Giannis?
I got to agree with Stephen A. on this because here's the reason why. It's kind of like Rory McIlroy, kind of a little bit. And McIlroy didn't win that Grand Slam with the Masters this past year. And he didn't win period in his career, the green jacket. His legacy wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be the same because people were pushing him. I remember watching Golf Today on Golf Channel, bashing Rory McIlroy in the U.S. Open for not winning that major. But they were bashing him, bro. It's got people. I mean, you saw Ben Crenshaw bashing McIlroy on ESPN with the article he wrote. And the green jacket's the most important thing you need in golf. Believe it or not. I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but I think Giannis will tell you the same thing that he wants. Giannis has said this before too, that he wants to win another ring, and he feels like he will underachieve because he's talented. I mean, right now his career average is 29 points per game, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists per game with the league efficiency with 51% from the field. So, as much as great he is, I think he will underachieve a little bit. I mean, he wouldn't be like a bust, but he'd be kind of like an Aaron Rodgers, in sort of way, where Aaron Rodgers had probably one of the best arms ever till Mahomes came along. But we don't look at his talent, not his accolades. I mean, people look at Tom Brady, but Tom Brady wasn't the fastest guy or the strongest guy in this draft or even in the NFL. But they look at his accolades. And same with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is so talented. I mean, I think Giannis is probably the modern day version of what Will Chamberlain could have become. He's that talented and that good, but I think he'll tell you that he probably would have underachieved if he didn't win another ring or any MVP whatsoever.
Yeah. I think, for um for Giannis to be considered, one of the best players in the league right now, I mean, he didn't get there by earning a bunch of rings. Um, he didn't get put in that conversation by the amount of rings that he won. He got put there by the way that he played the game, and for himself, for his career. I mean, you could also look at it as if he's being considered one of the best players in the league, then maybe it would be a little underachieving to only have one ring. But I think that I think it's partially fair because for someone to be held to this much of a standard, I know that rings aren't.
They aren't everything, but there's something.
They are, but rings also aren't achieved by one player. And Giannis could lead that team to get the ring, but at the same time he's got to have his whole team around him, to be able to lead them there. So I think it is partially fair to say that it is a little bit under achievement, but I think that you look at his career right now. I mean, he's played great throughout his career, and had a good career for himself. And I mean, his career is not over, so it's not over anytime soon. I don't think so. That's my take on it.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna do one thing. We're just gonna do one thing, okay? Trey already knows I'm cooking something up. I can see it. I'm gonna go back to the 2013 draft, and here's why. I want to just name everyone that went ahead of Giannis. Okay, so these were people that NBA officials, scouts, GMs. These are all players that everyone thought had a higher ceiling or was better than Giannis. Okay, Anthony Bennett, Victor Oladipo, Otto Porter Jr., Cody Zeller, Alex Lynn, Nerlens Noel, Ben McLemore. We just talked about him. KCP, Trey Burke, CJ McCollum, Michael Carter Williams, Steven Adams, Kelly Olynyk, and Shabazz Muhammad. Okay, that was every player drafted ahead of Giannis. Now you might be wondering, well, why would you mention that? And here's why. When Giannis was drafted, the skinny, exactly. Who are those guys?
I don't know those people, bro.
You really have to be a ball knower to know some of those names. I mean, Anthony Bennett's known because he's a bust. Everyone knows Victor Oladipo, but ask how many people. Who's Shabazz Muhammad? And I want you to see what their answer is. Okay. So I don't know. So here's the thing. When Giannis was, Muhammad Ali, but Shabazz Muhammad, no one knows that guy. If you go back to 2013 and you saw skinny little Giannis get drafted by the Bucks, and you said, "Hey guys, that guy's going to be a 2-time MVP and a Finals MVP and have a ring," you'd look at me and say I was a doofus idiot, and there was no chance. He averaged 6.8 points as a rookie, 12.7 points as a sophomore, 16.9 points as a junior, and then his senior year in the NBA, if you want to call it that, he finally made the All-Star game. He had 22.9 points per game. I think if he never wins another ring, he overachieved because nobody thought he was going to ever be the best player in the league or a champion or a multiple-time MVP or a defensive player of the year. And you look at who was drafted ahead of him. I mean, we all know that there's some pretty dumb GMs, right? There's some pretty dumb GMs in the NBA. No disrespect, but that's a lot of teams that drafted ahead of that drafted players ahead of Giannis, and I don't think it's fair to say that he underachieved. Yeah, when you look at Giannis now, right? Is he the biggest glow up in the NBA? Probably. He gained like 97 pounds of muscle, and that dude's just jacked as all get out. And he's, I mean, a lot of people have him in the top 15 of players ever. There's no chance anyone could think he would reach those heights as a 19-year-old coming out of Greece, right? There's just no way. So I'm gonna have to disagree with your guy Stephen A. Smith on that one. I do think it's unfair. But if you're looking at Giannis how he is now, sure, I get it, but that's not what we should do. We should look at who he was when he was drafted, right? Because that was the expectations placed on him early on. So that's my take on that one. Getting to Zachy's question here. We're getting to Zachy's question now. So LeBron has made some headlines. There's an ad, teasing retirement. And then TMZ reports that LeBron told who do you say it to? It was a teammate, I believe. Oh, Dalton Connect. That he told Dalton Connect that he could play another 5 to 10 years in the league. So I guess the real question is LeBron trolling us? And then the secondary question is, why do you guys think he would want to stay around any longer? Would it be to try to end the GOAT debate because he's done everything, he's won everything, he's done everything, he's already the GOAT in a vast majority of people's eyes? I feel like as the days go on and years pass, more and more people see him as the GOAT. I mean, what do you guys think? What's y'all's take on this?
So I think he's showing us number one. I mean, I remember seeing on a Beats commercial that Savannah did the narrative on the Beats commercial with Bryson and Bronny and LeBron, and she kind of did confirm that he wants to play with Bryce on the ad, because I mean LeBron, because you're sponsored by Beats. LeBron is sponsored by Beats since like 2010, probably, if not longer than that. He's showing us number one. Number two is this. I think he does want to end the GOAT debate. I think he's tired of hearing the conversations of him and Jordan. Because the standard right now, people want to have him why of the GOAT is because he's 4-10 in the finals. He only has 4 wins to show for it.
4-6.
4-6, yeah. His career over 4-6 in the finals, 4-6. 10 finals appearances, by the way.
Yeah.
So, I think he wants to finish off with more than 4, because right now that's the only thing people hold against him is he has 4 rings. That he ain't better than Jordan. Jordan won 6. People have Kobe over him because Kobe won 5. So I think he wants to end the whole debate period, and he probably wants to really probably become a GM one day or own a franchise. So he's training for that, maybe. So I think he for sure wants to. I think he was in the GOAT debate for sure, and I don't know. I think he wants to. He's tired of hearing Jordan talks and Kobe Bryant talks with me. For me personally, it's a tie. And the GOAT in basketball. Don't roll your eyes at me, Nick. It's
baloney.
True.
It's baloney, guys.
But yeah, I gotta watch more games. By the way, let me watch more games. Anyways, but yeah, I think he wants to end the GOAT debate, and I know he wants to make old people mad. So I think he for sure wants to end the debate, and that's why I think he will stay longer. I think he really can play probably 5 to 10 years. He probably could if he really wanted to. It's up to his mind though.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that's my thoughts on that goofy tease of commercial.
Okay. So I have a text here for Trey. It says,
"Dude, I take it back, guys."
It says, "Okay, bro. In reality, LeBron is overall the GOAT." Okay, so yeah.
Bro, I took it back. I had to take it back.
Anyways, Jaden, what do you think about this?
So, I think, this rumor about this retirement from this ad, Um, I think, LeBron, he's made a great career for himself. And, eventually there has to be a day where he has to retire because he's human and he can't play forever. I mean, he's defying all odds of being human by playing as long as he is and playing as well as he is. But he is human, and eventually he's got to retire. As far as when that is, at the end of the day, when the
Drake, I hope
AI,
it's I hope it is AI. Drake, I
it,
hope
it very well could be. I think that
Yeah, the arbor rushing knows. I blame the guy who created it, Google.
I don't think that LeBron's gonna retire. I mean, his son's about to. Both of his sons are about to be in the league, hopefully, and I don't think he would leave, a year short of that happening. And I'm sure LeBron wants one more ring, to kind of seal that deal for himself. But, whenever that day is, unfortunately, it's coming closer and closer as each season goes on. But, I don't think LeBron's going to retire. I think he's still got another season or two at least in him. So I guess we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah. To answer your question, Zach, I don't think he's going to retire this year. I think he definitely will want to play another year with Luka at least. I could see him retiring in the next 3-ish years. I don't think Bryce James can make the NBA. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Who will make it the NBA?
I don't think Bryce James can make it to the NBA. He was not that fantastic in high school. His brother was far, far better. People don't realize before Bronny's heart attack, he was a 4-star recruit and a highly touted recruit. This guy was, he's going to USC as like the best player on the team. And then he had a heart attack on the court, and people don't really understand that. Right. So I think Bronny was far more talented than Bryce in terms of basketball IQ. Maybe Bryce will excel in Arizona and really make a name for himself and prove me wrong. I just don't know if he'll be able to make the league. That being said, I think Bron will play probably 2 to 3 more years. Can we talk about Thomas Bryant is in the league and not Bryce James? I don't know how those correlate. Is it? I don't know how those correlate, but yeah, Thomas Bryant is I don't even know. Yeah, so I think LeBron is already the GOAT. I have to sneeze. MJ just tried to take me out because I said that. Did y'all see that? Whew.
Guys, it's a tie, guys, for me, man.
So Trey Lopez is full of baloney. I don't know if you guys knew that, but he's full of baloney, and he's a D1 Hall of Fame rage baiter. Thank you so much, Drake. Thank you so much. That being said, we're gonna move quickly here. We're already over an hour, and we still have the NFL, golf, and baseball to talk about. So we're gonna hurry this up. But real quickly, I just want to say, so. This could spiral out of control because I could get really angry and Trey could get really angry. So I kind of want to save this one for later. Man, I know I'm going to get really angry. So I'll just say this really quickly. I've seen a lot of things on social media. LeBron has no bag. If LeBron has no bag, the moon is also made of cheese. It's just stupid. Okay. That's just not real. You can't have 40,000 plus points and not have a bag. That makes no sense, but I don't want to get started on it. I'm going to get angry and it's going to be a 35-minute topic. So I think we're going to see if we'll have some time for that at the end, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But I did want to. LeBron's bag is getting buckets. Literally. See, I'm getting angry already. It's his bag is being the most efficient, effective scorer in the history of the NBA. What more do you want? His bag is putting the ball in the hoop. What do you want him to dribble around like Kyrie? He's 6'9", 275 in his prime. You want him to dribble around like that? By the way, he's fantastic. Some of his highlights are ridiculous. He has an underrated handle. He's a fantastic post scorer. I mean, his bag is being a 3-level scorer. He can score in the 3, the mid, and the 2. It's just whatever. See, that's a dangerous topic. I'm going to get really, really angry. And Travis is prodding me. He's prodding me like cattle. He's sticking.
Is there a way? That's on stream. You are get percent. Guys, show videos or no?
We should probably workshop that before you try it.
Okay, I did it once. I did it one time last week.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, we're gonna move on. If we have some time for that, we'll talk about it. But
we could make that a whole bonus episode.
That could be a whole episode. And we might actually do that, Jaden. That's a great idea. Does LeBron have a bag bonus episode? Stay on the lookout for that. Actually, that's a great idea. So Magic Johnson went on First Take. He said that a superstar is where you sell tickets, your box office, all of that. What is y'all's definition of a superstar?
All right, so he also said this too. He said that someone who elevates people, as a player who elevates people to become better and to basically, you have average 25 points per game or more. You also have to be able to lead your team to a comeback. So and get it done too in the end time. So that's what he said too. For me too, I think that you have to elevate people around you, and you have to be able to sell tickets out of course and whatnot. Also, you need to at least elevate your teammates around you too, because if not, you're going to be like basically a one-man show, and you're just going to suck in the NBA. So, and also in my book, you need to have 27 points per game, the max, to be able to be a superstar. And also, you have to have the charisma around you too. So there you go.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Kind of saying the same thing without saying the same thing. I think that a superstar is someone who someone who's got the mentality that they want to win, they want to do what it takes to win, and not only have that mentality but execute that mentality. Go out there and get buckets when they need to do what they need to do in order to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so I mean, facts.
Yeah.
Someone needs to pass the ball to get buckets.
Yeah. It's a culmination of a lot of things, like Trey said. Your ability to elevate your teammates, your ability to sell tickets, your ability to score at a high level, your ability to all that. I definitely agree with that for sure. I'm going to pick up the pace here. As you could, we're going to mention him again because Trey's just really likes this guy. Stephen A. Smith. He's the third mention in the show. He did a top 5 point guard list of all time. So we're going to match him and do a top 5. And I'm going to do this real quickly here. I'm going to say this. Steph Curry is not a point guard. He is a shooting guard. Okay. I think he should be evaluated as a shooting guard. This guy's highest assist count per game in his career is like 6. I'm going to double check that real quickly because I'm not very, he averages for his career 6.4 assists. I don't know how comfortable I am putting a guy who doesn't even average 7 assists in a point guard. I know he plays the point guard position, but he's more of a shooting guard to me. That's not a knock on him. It's just how he plays. So I'm not going to have Curry in this list, but I'm going to have LeBron in this list. Okay. So here we go. Ready? LeBron's the best point guard in the history of the NBA. He's number 1. Magic's number 2. and then the other three, it doesn't matter. I'm kidding. I'll finish it. LeBron, Magic. I'm gonna go Chris Paul. I know he didn't win a ring. I'm talking pure point guard ability. Isaiah Thomas, and I'm not doing that tiny little white dude from the Utah Jazz. That dude stinks. I'm not doing it. This is all off the dome. And I'm gonna go, oh man. This is a tough one. You know what? Fine. Curry number 5. There you go. Boom.
Okay. So my list is LeBron, Magic, CP3, Steve Nash.
Steve Nash is a good one.
And probably Steph Curry too, because I think Isaiah Thomas is a little bit overrated in my book. But anyways, we won't go there. Anyways,
he was Michael Jordan's daddy, but whatever.
No, he wasn't. But okay.
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't, but okay.
He literally was.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't, bro.
Yeah, he was.
As a commentator, they kept calling him the GOAT. I mean, he was a play-by-play commentator, bro. That's what he did when he was at NBC. That's what he did when at ABC, bro. I'm saying what he said. I'm saying what he said on NBC when he was in the 90s.
Oh, the 90s. That was ages ago. No D Rose, man. It's not my favorite players. It's the top.
He could have been the best point guard ever, but he got hurt.
Yeah. TJ McConnell, number 2. That's the pistol. Larry Bird at 1. Nice. Jaden, what's your top 5?
I think mine's pretty similar. I got LeBron, Magic, Isaiah Thomas, who else do I have? I don't know. I can't think of it. But I'll put Curry. Someone else and then Curry.
Yeah. I don't think you can be considered one of the best point guards ever if you've never had a assist title. LeBron has an assist title. Like, I'm not comfortable doing that. It's not a knock on Steph. I mean, no, not Kyrie. Kyrie's in a similar boat to Curry. He's more of a shooting guard, in my opinion. They're just too tiny to play that position. But I don't know. I don't think that Steph Curry is a point guard. I think he plays the position, but his game is not. Pistol Pete, I'm pretty sure I could beat Pistol Pete in a 1v1, man.
Yeah, same. Don't get me started with the other guy.
That was like the 60s. I mean, I respect what he did for the game. He would move the ball around his back and look real cool. He's a legend.
Yeah, this is not the show where I was on for a year, bro.
We're not doing the tiny short dude from the Jazz. He stunk. Okay. John Stockton was horrible. Okay. I'm so sorry. He just was. He was, I don't even want to get started on the 90s, man. I really don't like 90s basketball. Drake said Drake Route, Crusaders Camp number 1, LeBron 2, Curry 3, Steve Nash 4, Larry Bird 5. Wow. All right, man.
This guy,
Uncle Drew, definitely the GOAT for sure. You never saw him live. I unfortunately had the pleasure of not watching Pistol Pete, or who you were talking about, Pistol Pete or John Stockton, because I definitely wasn't old enough for Pistol Pete, and I was like not even born yet when John Stockton was moving around like a doofus. Anyways, we're going to move on. We are running out of time quickly here. The NFL, we're going to move on to the NFL. Trey put in this stupid, goofy topic that I don't even want to talk about. So Brian Schottenheimer, whatever that stupid dude's name is, the coach of the Cowboys, said he expects to win a championship this year. Our thoughts and our expectations for the Cowboys. I'll go because I'm going to be fast. 9-8, missed the playoffs. Okay, nice.
You know what? I got something for you, bro. I think they'll be better. I think they'll probably finish second in their division, bro. I think they actually will. So probably
second. 11. They're not better than the Commanders.
I don't know,
not
man.
better.
I think
Daniels is better than Dak already. He's already better than Dak.
Okay, he got hurt last season.
Who?
Dak did.
Do you think George Pickens is going to make a difference? He's just going to be punching everybody. That's not going to make any difference.
Yeah, you're right, bro. I try. I just
And
want to get. I just want to make good podcasts, bro. Good content. That's all I was trying to do for you, bro. You're right.
you rage baited me pretty hard there, man. Okay, I get what you're saying, Travis. That's what you want your coach to say, but he sounds like delusional because everyone knows the Cowboys aren't going to do anything. You know what he should have said? This is what he should have said. What are your expectations for this year for the Cowboys? To win a playoff game. That's what I want to hear. Not no championship. Get Super Bowl out of your mouth. That's the problem with Jerry. That's the problem with Jerry Jones. That's the problem with everybody, every Cowboys fan. It's our year. No, it's not. We suck. We've sucked since 1996, okay? So we just have to throw that away. Just throw it away. We win 13 games and Aaron Rodgers suns us. We beat Tom Brady because he's 97 years old and the team sucks. And then we get spanked by the Niners. We lose to Jared Goff and the Rams. Like, I'm so sick of this. It's not our year. We're not going to win anything. The best case scenario is we make the playoffs and get spanked in the wild card like every single year, okay? And you know what? The Chiefs freaking suck too because they lose to the Eagles. Of all people, they lose all their devil magic powers against the Eagles. Sorry. Go ahead.
I just got one word. No.
No. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree.
Trey, we are not going to be second best in that division. The Commanders are way better than us.
Bro. I was just showing you, bro. I just want to see what you're going to say.
Man, I'm going to crash out, bro. Dude, Jaden Daniels with Luke McCaffrey is better than the Cowboys.
Yeah. I agree.
And they got Big O Debo, okay? Big O Debo is going to do something.
That's right.
I don't know how much he's actually going to do, but they did get him. So, yeah, no, absolutely not. And there's a stupid documentary coming out on Netflix about that stupid freaking person, Jerry Jones, and nobody watch it. We all boycott it.
I'm going to watch it.
Because it's all about Jerry Jones and his glory days and how he was this and that, blah, blah, blah. You suck. You can't build a team.
Yeah, that's America's team right there.
I'm about to watch it, bro.
What are we expecting to see in this doc? Propaganda. That's what I'm expecting to see in this doc.
I can't wait to see it, bro. I can't wait to see it.
Jaden Daniels is like that. He's better than the entirety of the Cowboys roster, and he's the second year. Yeah, Jerry Jones drafts great, and then he talks about the Super Bowl every 55 seconds. Okay?
Yeah.
He does draft based on size because that is true. He's actually not a terrible drafter in general, but he does. Yeah, look up Jerry Jones draft based on size. Don't actually look that up. Anyways, we're going to move on. I don't want to talk about the Cowboys anymore. I'm sick of this. You got to put exactly if you know. You got to put other teams in there because I'm so sick of that stupid franchise. All right. So for golf, Sam Burns did not win the U.S. Open. It was JJ Spawn.
That's right.
JJ Spawn won the U.S. Open. So JJ Spawn won the U.S. Open. I don't even know what to say, man. It was a crazy week.
It was hard.
Okay, so I'm gonna sound off on somebody real quick, and I'm so sorry. I hate to do this to you, buddy, because you're my favorite. Rory McIlroy. I'm skipping some of this because I saw that and I got angry. So I'm gonna do this and we can go back. And then you guys can do this as well if you'd like to sound off on Roy. But I have to. Is the show's Rory fan? Rory, you got to quit being a crybaby, okay? You got to quit throwing your clubs and smashing tee markers. He did when he threw his club, it hit his bag and came back to him. That was pretty cool. But other than that, he's been playing horribly since he won the Masters. I think he's still hungover. I think he's still drunk, okay? But that's not an excuse anymore. I gave you the pass for the championship. You play like garbage at Oakmont. Okay, I know a lot of people had a rough time. Bryson missed the cut. Ludwig missed the cut. It was a rough week for a lot of people. But I'm very, very disappointed in Rory McIlroy's play. I do think he should leave TaylorMade. I don't think he likes their clubs. I really don't. I think if Roy was a free agent in terms of clubs and he got to use whatever he wanted to, he could win everything. I just don't think him and TaylorMade should be partners for much longer. He did complete his Grand Slam. He's etched in the history books, but I would really, really, really like to see him be able to win another one this year. That'd be really great. That just me. But I was very disappointed with his play. Like I said, I know Oakmont's hard, and I know that he's probably still riding that high, but the way he's been acting to the media and acting is just not very professional, and it's a bad look. So, I mean, what are y'all's thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna go off a second too on Rory McIlroy. Here's a little McIlroy. I think he had the potential to become the second greatest golfer of all time. But I think besides Tiger Woods, as a talent perspective, you're probably the best golfer I've seen in my own eyes, eye test wise.
Yeah, for sure.
Behind Tiger Woods. Here's the deal. I'm tired of giving you the pass. Since you won the Masters, it's annoying seeing you throw your clubs and throw the little fit. But bro, get it done. Get it done finally. You have the one more major coming up left. Get it done.
It's in your hometown, by the way.
Get off the your hangover. Go in the gym and go work out. Go on therapy if you need to. Because I'm tired of this guy playing the same. I'm tired of the guy just making the cut and playing bad, even the PGA Tour tournaments overall. It's just terrible. He could have won. He could have done something at Wells Fargo, the PGA Championship. But you know what? I give him that pass because you know why? It came off a huge Master win, and he was like mentally, like emotionally out of it still. But if this is in your hometown in the Open, so get it done, Roy. If you want to be cemented as a top 3 golfer of all, and next book of all time, cement it. Get it done. You have a good swing for it. I mean, maybe it's a club change. The clubs you need to change out. So I mean, I know he said before he loves TaylorMade, but I don't know what's going on now because I think it's just
weird, man.
It's just weird to me. I just can't. So right, McIlroy, I'm holding you to a standard. Get it done. Quit using that same excuse. Talk to the media. You're an athlete, bro. Talk to the media, bro. It's their job. Get over that freaking fear and that stupid crap. Talk to the media. Say that you know why you want to talk to the media because you play so bad. There's no one to say. Well, say it to the press. You're just playing bad. Say it to the press. Be a man for once, bro, and say to the freaking press, I'm playing bad. Quit tearing your shirt off. Quit throwing your clubs off the green and stuff like that. Quit that stuff. So McIlroy, get it done. There you go. Travis, I don't care about his stupid wife, bro. I don't care about his wife. I don't care. Get it done.
Oh man.
That's funny.
I saw Tiger Woods still play golf and win tournaments even with his divorce going on, bro. There you go.
Oh yeah. For the sake of time, I mean, I'm basically just going to say more of the same thing, so we should probably move on.
Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, no, huge congrats before we move on here. Huge congrats to JJ Spawn. He played fantastic. Oakmont is a very, very, very tough course. Very tough. They had it in an insane condition. I mean, man, that course was nasty. It was gross. It was hard. I mean, JJ Spawn won the event shooting one under the whole tournament. 1 under. The one, like I man, that's just crazy. He had back-to-back birdies to end that. That was fantastic play by him. Huge congratulations to him. There's more of the same for I almost said Phil Jackson, wrong guy. Phil Mickelson. I think I'm done going off. Yeah, he won at 1 under for the whole tournament. Absolutely ridiculously tough tournament. I think I'm done going off on Phil because I think he's just done. I think he's washed and I think it's over.
No, I don't care anymore, bro. He stopped caring.
I don't think he cares. He's on that YouTube grind with Grant Horvat. Congrats to him for that. It's a lot less stress on him. He'll be able to just chill and play golf and whoop up on scratch golfers, for a while. So I think I know we've been harsh on Phil Mickelson, but I think he's just washed. I don't think he cares anymore. So
Yeah, I think what hurt him a lot was when they tried to cancel him after we said about Saudi Arabia, the golf tournament league coming up.
yeah,
That's what ruined him. He got canceled basically.
yeah.
People overall really
Yeah.
canceled Phil Mickelson after what he tweeted in
Mhm.
2022.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was a tough course. Like I said, Ludwig missed the cut. Bryson, horrible. He was plus 10 in 2 rounds, missed the cut. It was a tough week.
Yeah.
Scotty did not play well either.
Dude, he was 7 over par, and that was insane.
A lot of people were expecting Scotty to play extremely well. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, if he went back to back, that'd have been something." But yeah, he was shut out pretty quickly. The U.S. Open, it's kind of one of those tournaments where the course is so hard. It really just depends on who manages it the best. And that differs depending each week. With the Masters, you don't see people really win. That sometimes you'll see a random, not a random person, but a golfer out of left field win it. But it's not as often as the U.S. Open, and that's
Yeah.
and I think that's because the course is so hard. The U.S. Open makes it so hard that it's really kind of almost luck of the draw how well you're playing that week. With the Masters, Augusta is extremely hard and difficult, but it's a golfer's course. It's a striker's course. So your innate talent and ability will shine more than how lucky you were that week. I'm not saying JJ Spawn won because he was lucky. I'm saying he played the best at the toughest course that I think I might have ever seen in my life. And that's huge. And he's taken that trophy home and his name's etched on it. And no one's going to be able to take that away from him. So huge congratulations to him. Real quickly here, Tascosa, big ups to Amarillo, Texas. Tascosa Golf Club is hosting a PGA event. I believe it is
It's a Corn Ferry.
it's a Corn Ferry Tour event at Tascosa Golf Club. I think that's really, really cool. Do you guys expect maybe you could see an actual PGA Tour event in Amarillo?
I actually think so. I didn't notice, but the Amarillo Country Club in Amarillo, Texas, Byron Nelson actually built that course in their 1930s and something like that. Pretty old. So I think actually it could happen. I know I read the article on myhighplains.com. They said that Scott Scheffler will be there, McIlroy will be in town around that time in the Corn Ferry Tour. So we all need to go to it, and I'm requested. If I'm gonna find out I'm requesting off, I'm gonna go cover. I'm gonna go see it, and yeah, y'all should go. And I don't know the tickets price right now, but if y'all need tickets, my dad actually, who's the manager he hired, actually, his wife can get us tickets. Anyone who wants to go, with y'all and stuff like that, if y'all want to come see it. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy, bro. I think for sure events will come around because you have Ryan Palmer here too. So yeah.
So it's the AccuNet Classic, 72 hole tournament, 156 players, and it's one of the 26 events on the Corn Ferry's season schedule. So it's a big the Rawls is it's different because I don't actually know why it's different. I'm not quite sure because there's college events that are played at the Rawls, so I think that might have to do something with it. But I believe they're playing Tascosa Golf Club, so they do have 2 courses that they're going to be playing that they have to choose from, either Tascosa or at La Paloma. So that'll be pretty cool. Jaden, what do you think about that?
I think it's really cool. I think it's really big for Amarillo.
Yeah.
And as far as whether or not this will bring more like PGA events and all that to Amarillo, I think it just all depends on how this tournament does.
Yeah,
I think
for sure.
I think if this tournament doesn't get a lot of traction and the players themselves don't really like playing there, then I think it could
shy them away from ever coming back. So I think we just got to see how this tournament goes. But, regardless, it's still really cool. And I think it's really huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope Tascosa I hope the groundskeeper gets that place nice and ready for the Corn Ferry. That's a big event. That's like the minor leagues of golf. There's going to be a lot of talented golfers there who want to earn a PGA Tour card. So there's going to be great golf being played. Yeah, that's probably true, Travis. The Rawls is a college course, not a private course, so it's a lot harder to host those kind of events. But yeah, I've played at Tascosa Country Club. When I played it, I don't know if it was Corn Ferry ready, but I also played it about 9 years ago. So there was a lot of time. It's probably in a much better condition now, and they'll probably have it a lot better for that. But that's pretty cool. That's really cool, and I might have to go down there and check it out myself. So, is that a threat, Drake? I don't know what that is. That's a little scary. Moving on here to baseball, our final topic. So Shohei did return to the mound tonight. He did return as a pitcher against the Padres. He wasn't great tonight. Let me pull up his stats here. He had 2 hits. He had 0 strikeouts, a 9.0 ERA. Not great. He gave up 2 RBI. He wasn't great. I think this is what I expected. I know maybe a lot of people thought that he was going to he was going to go crazy. That's not how pitching works. He hasn't pitched in a long time. So I think it's fine that he didn't pitch very well. What do you guys think?
Yeah, he's back, bro. I mean, he hasn't pitched since like 2023, bro. Almost 2 years. So that's so it's okay. I think once he gets his stuff going, then for sure he'll be able to do what he normally does on the mound and strike people out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think with anybody, you stop playing a sport for a long time and then go back and try and play the same you were when you were playing all the time. So I think it's going to take him a second just to get his bearings back. Yeah,
for sure. I'm not too worried about that. It's Shohei Ohtani. He's gonna be great. So he'll be fine. The College World Series, the Men's College World Series is going on. I don't talk to me about the softball one. I don't want to talk about the softball World Series. I don't want to talk about it. Anyways, the Men's Baseball World Series is going on. It's in full swing. I believe the final teams in are Arkansas, LSU, UCLA, Oregon State, Coastal Carolina. Whew, that's a sleeper right there, and Louisville. So that's in full swing. I don't know too much about college baseball. I just know Tech should have been there, and we weren't. So I'm sad, but it's okay. We spent a lot of money on football, so we'll be good at football this year. This year, being honest, just warming up. He's fine as a pitcher. They're so loaded that he probably doesn't need to pitch. They are that loaded, but he's getting paid a bazillion dollars to hit and pitch, and it's Shohei Ohtani, so he's going to pitch. I like that he did not hit today. He just pitched. I know he only pitched 2 innings. He did not hit, I don't think. I lied. He hit. He hit today. I'm a liar. He had 2 RBI. He was 2 out of 4. It's Shohei Ohtani. That's my bad, guys. He did hit today. But he was great. He hit and he was great. So I do like that he only pitched 2 innings. I don't want to see him pitch more than that because he's getting that arm warmed up. They have an incredible dugout. They are loaded. They're the best team in the league. They're going to win another World Series likely. And then next year they'll get some other Japanese pitcher who throws a 109-mile-per-hour fastball, and we need to abolish the Dodgers after that. So I'm just I don't know, man. It's looking a little scary. I'm a little worried about the parity. I think we might see quite the dynasty going on in LA. Yeah. But who knows? Maybe maybe Aaron Judge will crank some steroids and be able to really hit some dingers. So
Dude, this guy.
we will see. We will see. The home run leaders as of right now, it's Judge at 1.
Yeah, Judge now, yeah.
Judge and Cal Raleigh. He probably uses a torpedo bat. You've never heard of him in your life. They're both at 26.
I've heard of them, guys.
Shohei's who does he play for? Exactly. Yeah, exactly. He plays for the Mariners. Shohei's at 2. So I guess solo third because the first is tied at 25. So he's right behind those guys. But yeah, I mean, you got a guy who's might lead the league in home runs and who can also pitch. It's just it's just different. But Shohei's crazy. Shohei's crazy, and we need to look into the Dodgers and maybe, I don't know, ban them or something. Like they have to take a year off, or I don't know, man, because it's getting kind of ridiculous. They're kind of coasting, and they're the best team in the league by far. They're just too loaded, man. They're just too loaded. I don't really get it. I mean, Shohei, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. I mean,
Max
it's
Muncy.
just Max Muncy. It's just not. It's not cool, man. It's not cool. And every time I see a Japanese pitcher on TikTok from high school or something, and he's throwing 107, I just open the comments as future Dodger. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. It's just, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But that's all we have for today. We did have some more topics in case we weren't over our time, but we are already at an hour and a half plus. And we want to do a bonus episode about LeBron and his bag, and we might have to throw these extra questions that Trey thought of in there as well. So be on the lookout for that. We'll work on that. We could talk about LeBron and we'll get highlights up on here. We're probably going to get banned for doing that, but whatever. We'll work on the legalistics of it in the meantime. But yeah, guys, I really appreciate you. Travis saying, wait, I already know he's going to say some nonsense question. I'm ready for it. Just gotta wait patiently. I'm gonna give him till 12:05. And if he it's already 12 a.m. guys. Are we later than nightcap? Is nightcap done? We might be.
No,
later
they're probably
than
on, bro. They're probably still on.
Nightcap is still on. So what does this mean for that Asian player on the Grizzlies? The 5'6" guy? It means that he's going to be handing out more Gatorades. And no offense, but like I don't see Desmond Bain opening up anything for him, unfortunately. I think he's not a bad player, but yeah. So, alrighty, guys.
And by the way, guys, it's a tie, and then go debate.
So during our bonus
guys.
episode, I'm gonna rip Trey's tie argument to shreds. It's just gonna be all about LeBron and MJ, and I'm gonna rip it to shreds. I'm gonna rip it to shreds. So, anyways, guys, I'm about to see him cook. I hope so. I don't know why that. You didn't win the giveaway because you said no.
And by the way, guys, it's $45 now, bro. Because the same person didn't accept it with the money, so it's
so he doubled it and gave it to the next person. So we're gonna continue to do so, guys. So, anyways,
the freaking money.
At the end of this, it might be $1,000 giveaway. I don't even know. If it is, we're gonna take that money and invest it into the show. So yeah, but no, Travis, you can't run it. You already denied it. So. Alrighty, guys. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. So it's already 12 a.m. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and hanging out. Remember that this guy right here is an absolute doofus. So yeah. Well, hold on. I was pointing at Jaden because it's reversed. My bad. I don't actually know how it's gonna look on there, but I was pointing at Jaden because it's reversed on here. I apologize for that, guys. But yeah. We're going to get out of here. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys either bonus episode sometime this week. I will be out of town next week on Monday. So these guys might have to take it for me, but you'll see a bonus episode very soon and it'll be a lot of fun. So, Drake said, please pick me. I won't deny. Okay. Drake, you win the giveaway. Congratulations, man. We found
I'll let you
somebody
know.
who take the money.
At the end of July, we'll see what happens.
First person that actually takes the money wins. But yeah, we're getting out of here, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we will catch you guys in the next episode. So we'll see you later. You all have a good night.